There's a new type of comedy at the moment called woke comedy, right? No, it's very progressive, you know. There are some clubs now where the comedian has to sign a thing saying he won't say anything contentious or he won't say anything that could offend anyone. It's a safe space for the audience. Woke comedy. And I tried to watch a bit of it, and I decided I'd rather watch Louis C.K.
There's a new trend in comedy today called woke comedy. It's all about being progressive and making sure that comedians don't say anything that could upset anyone. In some clubs now, comedians even have to sign agreements saying they won't make any controversial jokes or offend the audience. It's all about creating a safe space. I gave it a try, but honestly, I'd rather watch Louis C.K. do his thing. Now, Ricky Gervais? That guy is a comedy legend. He doesn't shy away from anything. No topic is too sensitive for him. In fact, he's one of the best at tearing apart political correctness with his unapologetic humor. His
correct and hilarious, of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is...
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. You know, it's... offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you know, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing
at times, but he's got a point. Being offended doesn't automatically make you right. If you're someone who likes watching comedy that tackles the tough stuff head-on, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But fair warning, if you're easily offended, you might want to take a pass on this one. Let's take a look at Ricky's take on offense. To him, it's just a feeling, a personal issue that you have to deal with. It's like having
subject. It depends what the joke is.
Yeah.
There's no rules. You can't joke about this. You can.
You should be able to.
You just can.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's not the world's job to fix it for you. Just because someone says they're offended doesn't mean they're in the right. Ricky's right about this. Offense is subjective, and people are offended by all sorts of things. Some even get offended by equality. So what? You can't please everyone, especially in comedy. To make great comedy, you have to tackle taboo topics and touch on contentious issues. And sometimes you deal with things in an ironic way that not everyone gets. But if you try to make everyone...
A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and...
pleasing no one. Take pineapple on pizza, for example. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean Italy got it wrong. It's all about personal taste. And offense? Well, it's just another opinion. Everyone's got one. Let's be honest, most comedy today isn't great. But Ricky Gervais? He's a firm believer that you can joke about anything. Sure, it's risky, but that's what makes it work. If comedy had its safe space, it wouldn't be comedy, it would be a TED Talk. A joke's real target...
wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, it's like a hate crime. It makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country.
You think it is, and that's what makes it funny. You can joke about anything, and you should. There are no rules, except to push boundaries. Think of it like handing a toddler a pair of scissors. It's messy and risky, but Ricky? He takes those scissors and creates art. You're not going to fall asleep during his comedy like you might with some woke, watered-down stuff. And let's not forget the celebrities. Ricky doesn't give them a free pass either. They love to give long speeches about saving the world, all while cashing in on checks from companies that rely on sweatshops.
There's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, fifth time. So... We were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. No. It was mostly white people. And I thought, nah, not on my watch. So, maybe next year. Let's see what happens.
That's the ultimate hypocrisy, like a vegan working at a steakhouse. He nails it when he says, so you've got these big speeches about dignity and doing the right thing, but the companies you work for, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd be calling your agent, right? If you win an award tonight, Ricky says, don't use it as a platform for a political speech. You're not in a position to lecture the public about anything. You've spent less time in the real world than someone like Greta Thunberg. So, come up.
They're not funny. Even if I agree with them, I stand up and I say, well, you can't say that. You've got to say, you don't find them funny, you know. And I hate it when people say, that joke was offensive. I say, no, you've got to say, you found it offensive. Because it's all about feelings, and feelings are personal. And there's loads of types of comedy, and comedy evolves, you know. There's a new type of comedy at the moment called woke comedy, right? No, it's very progressive, you know. There are some clubs now where the comedian has to sign a thing saying he won't say anything contentious or he won't say anything that could offend anyone. It's a safe space for the audience. Woke comedy. And I tried to watch a bit of it, and I decided I'd rather watch
Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd be calling your agent, right? If you win an award tonight, Ricky says, don't use it as a platform for a political speech. You're not in a position to lecture the public about anything. You've spent less time in the real world than someone like Greta Thunberg. So, come up, accept your award, thank your agent, and thank God. End of story. Imagine an actor in a serious drama from a streaming service that's backed by a company with questionable practices. It's ironic, isn't it?
I've got fangs. I love nuts. Oh, I love nuts. And once I was at the zoo and I could tell people were looking at me, so I just started masturbating. So, I am a chimp, right? I am a chimp, if I say I'm a chimp. And so I've got to live as a chimp for a year, then have hormones, get me all nice and hairy. That'd be lovely, right? I'm going to stay a male chimp, so I can keep all that, right? A male heterosexual chimp, keep the same girlfriend. Jane will be happy. She loves me. She loves chimps, so, you know. And I reckon that's got to be easier for a man to turn into a chimp. We're so close. Than for a man to turn into a woman in many ways. You know what I mean? A bit of hair and a top lip like that, as opposed to your cock and balls ripped off and a hole gouged out into... No, I'm not a doctor, but that is the gist of it. I know which one I'd rather have done. And I'm not saying I think chimps are better than women. No way. Right? Any ladies here, right? I can't see you, but to me, every single one of you is equal to a chimp. So
there's a new trend in comedy today called woke comedy. It's all about being progressive and making sure that comedians don't say anything that could upset anyone. In some clubs now, comedians even have to sign agreements saying they won't make any controversial jokes or offend the audience. It's all about creating a safe space. I gave it a try, but honestly,